Join me, friends, as together we become time travelers. It's because this has been a episode that's coming for about 3 months by the time you watch it, something like that. What time is it? Yeah, I was supposed to have had this done by July 15th.
I'm very disappointed in you.
I know.
Today is now somewhere around the end of September, so yeah, a little late, and that is why, really quick, if you can bear with me, I know most folks watching this have the attention span of a carrot, so this does need to be said though. I owe an apology to ZHIYUN and a few other companies because I've been wildly behind on everything getting this review out, and you will see in just a second we're going to go back to the very beginning of July where I was talking about these little LED lights from ZHIYUN. These are the MC20s or the M20C, little wireless color fill lights. We're going to talk all about those, of course. This is a review after all. But when we're done going back to the beginning of July, where I'm just telling you about some of the specs on these, I do a little unboxing. We will come back to the present day, at least present day for me, and I will show you the demonstration of how these lights actually work in practice. The irony, folks, is that I've been using these little boogers for literally the better part of 3 months now. I love them, but I didn't actually film any of the usage where I was using them for another project of mine. All that to say that this has been a combination of extraordinarily bad luck, unexpected illness, me grossly underestimating the responsibilities I was going to be having after I moved to the new digs here. I thought I could get all this done pretty quick. Turns out that was not the case. So ZHIYUN, please forgive me. That is completely my fault. Thank you for your patience with this, and I hope you enjoy the review. I hope you guys enjoy the review as well, because as I said, these little lights, they're just slick as hell. Let me show you. Well, we're back. And oh boy, what a month. That's right, folks. That is right. New digs for Leia and I. That is not going to be the topic of today's episode. However, rest assured, I will be sharing more than you ever didn't want to know about that entire subject coming up shortly. What's on the menu today, folks, is entirely different, but of course the same as we used to do, and that is companies have began sending me their products because I actually have a place for them to send them to. On today's agenda, ZHIYUN. I know, they make more than just those little stabilizers. I didn't know that. Maybe you didn't know that either. They make lights, photo accessories, all kinds of things. This one is the former. This is the ZHIYUN M20C compact color lighting system, LED. They reached out to me, ZHIYUN. I'm not sure if this would be considered a sponsored video. I'm not getting paid, of course. All of my reviews are unbiased, folks. You know this already. But if you do see a little sponsored thing up here, that's because I read YouTube's policies and decided to err on the side of caution. So yeah, they sent me these for free. It's going to be a good review, folks. I guarantee it. Not only that, I talked them into sending me not one of the M20 color lights, but two. Yeah, and I've already opened this one up, folks. I've already saw some of its little tricks, and man, it does have a lot of those little tricks. We're going to talk about the light. We're going to talk about a lot of the accessories. We're going to show some examples, but the big thing is, well, where did it go? There it is. I've left the other one unopened. That's right, still in plastic. So we're going to unbox it, show you exactly what you get right out of the gate. Let's cut it open. Here we go, folks. The M20C ZHIYUN. I say ZHIYUN. Some people say Zion. Not that big of a deal, guys. The ZHIYUN M20C compact LED light. The C, of course, folks, stands for color. I think I mentioned that a few minutes ago. This thing will actually change a cornucopia, a rainbow, an array of colors. Believe it or not, I'm going to show you all that, of course, guys. But just know that ZHIYUN does make just an M20 without the C, so without the color. So that's just a straight LED white light. This one thing more to mention, folks. This is the combo. They were good enough to send me the combo. That is the light itself, the M20C light itself, along with the barn doors, the honeycomb grid, and another little diffuser, which, like I said, I'm going to show you each and every one of these when we unbox it. But just know, you can buy the lights only, and you can buy the accessory pack only. Different prices. I'll put what they're going for currently. But you don't care about that. You care about the light, as I do. So let's rip the box open. Start with the plastic. There we go. Out she goes. There's not a lot of accessories in here, guys. Like I said, mainly it's just some directional things. But what is in here is absolutely outstanding. Like I said, I've been working with the other light up till now, and I've been really impressed. But like I said, a lot of this stuff, folks, is things that you can't really see, and I need a knife. It might seem like just a few accessories coming with this, folks, but I can guarantee you the stuff that's in here is more than enough for any professional or semi-professional or hobbyist type video or stills, and it is great quality. I'll say that right off the bat, and I will show you. But this is what you're met with when you open up the box to the ZHIYUN M20C LED light. Got a lot of literature, a lot of different languages on the user's manual. It's actually a really good user's manual, I'll say that. Light itself, isn't this a beauty? Tell you what, let's save that for last. The other things in the box, nice little reflective carrying bag for the whole shebang. They're even good enough to put their company name on there. Isn't that nice? And the only other thing in here, besides the silica, is your power cable or your charging cable. It is a USB-C. So the real moneymaker. Let's open up this bag. It is just a beautiful light. I'm glad I got to unbox this twice to show you, because it is really just lovely. I have to say, it is much smaller than I thought it was going to be, believe it or not, even though I had the specs. But yeah, this is how it comes out of the box. First little trick, guys, first little trick that the M20C does is it is magnetic. Operates on magnets, the accessories do. You have the barn doors right here. Very nice little feature. I'm assuming they did this on purpose. You have these numbered. Personally, the stickers don't bother me, but they are stickers, so you can take them off. But what it lets you do is, let's say you have your barn doors open or you have them closed. You just do whatever you want to do, your video or your stills. To close them, you start with number 1, and then you go with number 2, and then you go with number 3. And you guessed it, number 4. So it lets everything essentially be very compact, lets you know how to fold these down without bending anything, without making it bigger than you need. Again, magnetic, and folks, these are not plastic. I'm not sure if you could hear that. That was one thing that impressed me right off the bat. Those are what I assume is aluminum. So they could have made these plastic. They did not. That's very impressive. Now the housing around it is plastic. Of course you have the magnets, but the barn doors themselves, they're metal, and it feels heavy duty. Next we have a magnetic honeycomb. If you're not familiar with these honeycomb grids, essentially all they do, folks, is straighten the light, sort of. It gives it more directionality. It doesn't let it spill over as much on your subject. Very big with YouTubers these days, but these have been a staple of cinematographers and still photographers as well for decades. Again, magnetic. You can see it will stick to the other accessories, so you can sandwich these together. That's something we're going to talk about later, a little quirk that you need to keep in mind of, but just know, magnetic. All the filters, not the filters, but all the accessories are magnetic. You have a secondary diffuser. That's what this little plastic wrap thing is, and that's literally just a diffuser. It is magnetic. The LED comes with somewhat of a diffuser. I'm not sure the opacity of that, but this one is really frosted, so that's really going to tone down your lighting. So magnetic diffuser. And now we come down to the light itself, guys, but we're still not done unwrapping this little package. It comes in this little housing. It is a plastic housing. it still feels great. It gives a lot of protection, and of course it holds the light itself. But just to unsheath the light, you have a little release right here, and it's on a spring. So you just depress that, the back swings up. Maybe one of my favorite parts about the lights, guys, right here, and we will get to that in due time, but you undo the back, and then the light itself just liberates right out of the housing. The body of the light itself seems to be made out of some type of smoke gray hard plastic. I don't know if it's ABS or not. Really not sure, but like I said, it feels extremely well put together. Kind of surprising, really. Same thing for the front. Now, this is not a removable diffuser. This is just literally the front of the light. If you look really close, you might even be able to see those LEDs in there. Whether that would cause any hot spots on the light if you were using it just bare bones here without the magnetic diffuser, I don't know. I seriously doubt it, but literally this thing is not much bigger than a credit card, and you can just slap that on there. Back to the knobs on the back. Like I said, you have the off and on and the mode knob here, and you have the intensity knob over here. It goes all the way from 0, or really 1%, to 100. Extremely bright from what I've used it for so far, folks, and I'll show you here towards the end of the review. But the size of this is ridiculous. Easily fit in probably a jean pocket. It may not be the most comfortable thing. Definitely any type of like cargo pocket, cargo short pocket, any small camera bag. These take up virtually no space. I think if you put both the lights together, it's going to be about the size of a Rubik's Cube, probably a little less. Now, as cool as the light itself happens to be, really at the heart of the system, this is, again, the combo system, is the housing. The housing is really where all the magic happens. So I'm going to put the light back in there and show you what I mean. I'm going to go right in there, and as far as I know, that will only go in there one way. So you have this little cutout at the bottom, that's for the battery pack. Gate swings closed, and this is going to allow us to put on all of our accessories. Let's start off with the diffuser. Show you the few quirks with this. You can see these 4 little magnets in there. I think those are molybdenum. Yeah, molybdenum. These are magnets. And you'll see there are shiny magnets all around the perimeter of the housing. The light itself is not magnetic. The housing is the magnetic part. So it just snaps on just like that. It's hard to show on the video, folks, but that is an extremely satisfying and extremely solid attachment. It's not too strong. It's not too weak. It's definitely not going anywhere, at least that diffuser, because it doesn't have a lot of inertia, it doesn't have a lot of weight. That's on there. So we have the light in the magnetic housing. We have the magnetic diffuser on top of the light. Now let's piece together our other little accessories here. We have the honeycomb, and you're seeing now the first real quirk. Of course, it's physically unavoidable. Pay close attention how that will not seat on there unless it's in the correct orientation. You know how magnets are. Opposites attract, same repels, same poles repel. It's the same thing here. So the diffuser will only go on there one way. Same way with the honeycomb. You'll just not be able to put it on there. You flip it over and boom, slaps right on there, just like the little diffuser plate. I mean, that is 100% on there. No problem, virtually, I would say any type of studio use. If you're carrying these around outside on a location shoot, let's say if you have them on a light stand, like I'm going to have them set up on here in just a minute, you throw the light stand over your shoulder with a light on there. That is not going really anywhere. I don't know why you would have these necessarily, let's say on a vehicle with all the accessories on there. You know, maybe you would. I think especially just the little plate diffuser here, I don't think that would actually come off. I don't know, but like I said, I probably wouldn't recommend that because who knows, you don't want to lose your accessories. But I mean, that is a super secure connection. I know with some, let's say, camera filters, magnetic camera filters from different manufacturers, sometimes they don't just feel that sturdy attached to the front of your camera. With this, it is the best connection. And I know it's not a camera filter per se, but it is an accessory that goes on the light, and man, I can't say enough good things about those two little accessories. But this guy right here, those barn doors we looked at earlier in the unboxing, chef's kiss, folks, chef's kiss. These are incredible quality, in my opinion. Again, the doors themselves are aluminum. The housing is, what I'm pretty sure is ABS plastic from what I can tell. I don't know if the magnets are glued in there or if they're heat molded in there. I have no idea over time how this system will last in terms of like completely the longevity of it after, you know, thousands of on-offs with all these accessories. But I mean, they really feel rooted in there. Like I said, it's something you just probably have to see firsthand. But yeah, the barn doors, again, they are magnetic, and of course they will only go on there one way because they open out and they just go right there. So now you see every accessory on these lights, or on this light, that the combo pack comes with. That is the M20C combo pack. Again, if you just buy the light, you do not get all this stuff, folks. You don't get the honeycomb, you don't get the diffuser, you don't get the barn doors. I'll have to double check about that diffuser. I don't think so. But like I said, you can buy just the lights, you can buy just the combo kit. And man, in my opinion, 100% worth the price of the combo kit. It is extremely good. Of course, you can mix and match. You don't have to have everything on there. Let's say if you just wanted the plate diffuser on there and your barn doors, you can pop it on there like that. Let's say you don't want any type of illumination control on there, you just want the barn doors and the light. Of course, you can do it just like that. And of course, you know, there are a lot of combinations here, folks. You can have just the honeycomb, you know, something like that. And of course, you can use the lights as they are without any kind of modification. But yeah, this one thing to mention before we move on to the actual examples. I know that's what you really want to see, guys. This honeycomb, I think I mentioned it. I'm pretty sure that weave is aluminum as well. Almost 100% certain. Anywho, now the housing here, folks, are really, again, in my opinion, where the true magic of these lights lie. The housing has 4, I suppose you could even count it, yeah, I would say 4 points of attachment. Of course, you have the thread on the bottom that would go on top of the light stand. This would also be what you would use as like your primary on-camera position. It would go on the hot shoe or cold shoe of your camera. And then you have 3 more accessory mounts here for mounting anything that had a cold shoe mount. Really, it would slide on there. You could do like external monitors, external mics. I think that would actually be perfect. I'll probably pop a little Rode shotgun mic on here just to, you know, see what it does, see how it looks. Because I am curious. I mentioned this fan on the back. The fan is extremely quiet, but I don't have to tell you cinematographers out there, you videographers out there, that when you're really close to the camera, and if you're using the in-camera mic, if you're using an external mounted mic, anything that's close to your illumination, it's close to your autofocus of your lens, that can pick up some pretty janky sounds. So I'm going to be incredibly curious on how well that fan noise picks up on any type of on-camera microphone. I'm not worried about any type of like on-subject microphone like a lavalier or any type of external microphone, just the on-camera. So yeah, I think I definitely will pop the little Rode mic on there and see how it sounds. Join me, folks. Join me. Let's take a walk. I keep going on about the magic of the housing of these M20C color lights. I'm going to show you why I'm talking about that. Standard issue stainless steel refrigerator. How about that? Yeah, the housing, of course, is magnetic for the accessories, but on that little door, that little gate, be sure that it's closed properly and latched. There are 2 other magnets that sit on the inside of it, and boom, you can stick it on anything ferrous, anything that is magnetic. The light goes up, and it's actually fairly well solid. They even have a rubber bumper on the back of that gate, so it really doesn't damage any surfaces, and it gives some nice friction. You can see, well, it's actually shaking the refrigerator a little bit. It gives some friction, some extra security for that magnet to hold. Now it is on there. Again, probably wouldn't trust this for automotive work, for whatever reason you'd be filming any kind of shots on a moving vehicle, especially with all the attachments on here, especially with the barn doors. Those have a little bit of bulk. But for anything else, guys, like I said, that is impressively on there, and it just goes boom. So like I said, anything metal, I mean, come on, guys. How cool is that? And just FYI, that is at 20% illumination with the plate diffuser, with the honeycomb, and of course, those exquisite little barn doors. But like I said, we're really going to test this out. I don't know. I'm just in love with it. Not in the physical sense. Let's get ready to actually test these little buggers in earnest, or at least possibly not test, but to me, I would say it's more of a demonstration to show you exactly how these little guys work and why they are amazing. Is it on? In short, the big thing is the modular. They're working on a gallery downstairs, guys. You're going to hear something beating and banging. It's unavoidable. But the modular capabilities of these lights is their biggest strong point, in my opinion. Now you have 3 main attachments that comes with these lights. Again, this is just if you get the entire combo. The light itself comes with a built-in little diffuser there, little frosted PVC diffuser that is not removable, at least not on purpose. So that's going to be on there all the time, but you have 3 other little attachments that work with the magnetic corners of the lights themselves. And I'm going to start filming with this light on camera right here above my monitor, and literally add each one of these little attachments on there as I go to show you the difference that it makes. Now, first of all, you have these very snazzy aluminum barn doors. I mentioned that a few months ago. So you have the barn doors. Again, this is with the combo, not just a plain light itself. So you have the barn doors, you have a honeycomb right there, and then you have an additional diffuser there. Same type of opacity, I think, is the one that's built in, but it adds you a little bit softer light. So you can use these, of course, all one at a time, or you can stack them and use them just like that. The barn doors will really come in handy for you, especially if you're filming in a small space where you don't want to be casting the light on any objects in the room or any people in the room. You don't want to be throwing light on. If you're not familiar with honeycombs, honeycombs help literally straighten the light beams. They're like a little grid, and it gives you a softer, more wrapping light effect, sort of the same way with the diffuser here. But generally, you don't lose quite as much of your intensity of the light with the honeycomb. But again, you'll see how it goes. And as a refresher, folks, I will be controlling the lights after I turn them on here at the back. I will be controlling the lights with the app. Again, the ZHIYUN M20Cs. You can download something called the ZY Vega app, and that's going to let you connect via Bluetooth to the lights themselves. I just actually updated the firmware on the lights via the app. Very cool. Again, who does that? So we'll be able to control the intensity, the color of the lights, the chroma of the lights themselves, and of course turn them on and off, all from the app. I'm going to set my fat ass right here in this chair. After I position the lights, I won't have to get up again to actually control them, which is always a good thing. Welcome to the darkness, folks. Of course, I've just pulled the blackout curtains here. This is little Leia. She's camped out back there in the bedroom, so I'm going to shut her in. That's why that door's open. So the main big window has been covered here. I have on camera one of these ZHIYUN M20C lights. It's again mounted on top of the LCD. These are square, folks, and so it doesn't matter what orientation that you have them on there if that's important to you. So to have the light on there, it is completely naked. It is just the plain LED light with the built-in diffuser on there. Your little backlight action. I have the app open here. All I'm going to do is go in. I've already created a group with my lights. The Bluetooth is on. I'm going to hit the power button, and oh boy, this thing is cranked to 100%. It's a small light, guys. It is very small, but good God, be extremely careful. That sucker is bright. Now, we can actually remedy this. Very simple. I love the app. The app is very well done. I don't think that gets enough credit in some of the reviews that I've seen. So we're just going to take our little slider. There's also a little plus minus button there, by the way, but it's easier just to take the slider and we can just bring that down. Oh, there we go. Right back up. Now, perfect. And just below that, you have the, it's in Kelvin. You have the color temperature. So we can really warm that up or really cool it down. Gonna kind of go right in the middle. You have some presets here. You go to daytime, modeling light. Very cool. Ton of presets, xenon lamp, sunlight. These are so useful because, for one, you can just switch right back to daytime 90% of the time. That's what you're going to be using anyway. Or you're going to be using tungsten for some indoor stuff. Again, I don't have any lights on. But yeah, daytime's usually going to be your best bet. And something that you may or may not use, I leave it set to 0 all the time. And that is going to be the fact that I don't think I set record. I did set record. Professional after all. I'm not gonna lie, folks, there are quite a few options on here. I'm gonna use the two biggest ones. The very first one, of course, is gonna be this main CCT, might as well call it the home screen, for controlling the brightness, controlling the color temperature. The other thing is going to be the actual color itself. And speaking of that, I'll probably do a third one as well because that's really cool. But we're going to go to color. And again, these are the M20Cs. C stands for color. So these are adjustable literally to almost anything in the visible spectrum. We have it on, might as well call it just neutral now, neutral white. You have presets here, and you also have a color wheel. And changing the color of these lights, guys, is as easy as literally hitting the button. There's red, blue, fuchsia, cyan, orange. I think you get the idea. Or, of course, if you want to go with the presets, that's fine. Or if you want to actually use the color wheel and really go through the gradients, you can do that as well. You can control the brightness, you can control the hue. Enormous versatility, folks. Enormous versatility. Aside from the modular aspects of these lights, that is something I cannot stress enough, how versatile they are. Now, personally, for me, they're not going to take, oh, excuse me, while I'm thinking about it, you can actually adjust the RGB values of this as well. To me, it's just easier and usually a lot more straightforward to use the hue, saturation, and intensity on that. So we will go to back. No, there we go. That still looks a little warm to me, but it'll work for now. You have something called the color picker, and that is literally a color picker, little dropper guy. So if you can see on the app, it turns your camera on, and you can switch the color of the lamp, of the light rather, and you can switch the color of the light with this little crosshair. Maybe it'll pick it up over here, one of these books. If you see here at the top left corner, you have that little swatch. You can see that changing color right up here. So I'm going to hold it on a sort of an orange colored book that changes to orange. I'm going to hit pick, and that should instantly change the light color. How cool is that? Let's do something on my pants here. It's going to go bluish. Any color. If you see a color in a room, piece of wallpaper, piece of paint, anything that you want to, let's say, match to your subject's wardrobe, your skin tone, any kind of complementing color situation, where it happens on the fly, you can just pick it with the app. That is extraordinary. I absolutely love that. So let's brighten this back up just a little bit here. And what I want to do is throw on first the extra diffuser, the white diffuser. I'm going to take that off, throw on the honeycomb grid. I'm going to take that off and then throw on the barn doors and show you how you can adjust the angle of the light and such. And then I'm going to throw everything on there just to show you how it looks with all the accessories. So let's do that now. Here comes our diffuser. Takes it down a little bit, softens it some, not as much as you would think though, to be honest with you. So that is just the diffuser that goes on top of the diffuser that's already built into the light. I can see that it took us down a little bit, but again, with the app, I'm just going to crank that and bring it back. Something I'll mention, I'm filming with a 14mm Rokinon. I would say to the sensor, I'm about 14 inches from the camera. The camera sensor itself, so that gives you an idea of how far the light is from me. Of course, you know, closer you get, the brighter it actually gets on intensity, but it's going to wrap a little more. And that's what the honeycomb is going to help us do. So the honeycomb, here he is, or she is, who knows. But I'm going to pull off that diffuser and throw the honeycomb on there. Maybe it won't shake too much. So off comes the frosted diffuser, on goes the honeycomb. And if that was really scooted in, I can see on the monitor right now that that just really makes that light wrap around. It's better to fall off going down onto my clothes. But yeah, that's one of the things I'm almost constantly use when I've used these lights is the barn door and the honeycomb. Haven't used that other frosted diffuser that much because to me, I don't really have any use for it. The honeycomb works perfectly for me. You don't lose as much of the intensity on the light. I figure you can probably see that. It just helps straighten out those light rays and just give you a nice softer bit of illumination. So honeycomb is going to be your best friend if you've never used studio lights before. So let me throw off the honeycomb, and just for giggles, we'll see it more when I fire up this secondary light back here, but just for giggles, let us throw on our barn doors. Again, very passable, if not above average quality barn doors. So let's tell you what, let's completely close them off and then open them up. So it should go more or less black. They do a great job of actually hiding that light if you need to shut it off real quick. So let's open up our horizontal doors. And now we're going to go with our vertical. And again, I just have one of the wings down. You can see how that's really blocking that light out. That's kind of extraordinary. There we go. So we can open these all the way up. They're completely horizontal now, or completely, I guess, flattened out. So let's bring that bottom up. Let's say I wanted to block some of the light. Look at our little skull here. Let's say if I want to block some of that light, lower part of your subject. Bring that up, pretty well hidden. The sides are going to be a little difficult, but I'm going to fold that in, and you can see my arm over here just disappearing. So if you're going to want to square that up, this acts almost like a snoot, if you've ever heard of something like that. And then we're going to fold the other side. There we go. So really, you can aim the light with the barn doors. Or again, if you have a backdrop, if you have something in the periphery here, that really helps to eliminate that spillover. And they're remarkably customizable. Most of the time, you know, if you want to leave your barn doors on there, you're going to have them wide open. That way you can put your other magnetic attachments on there, like our honeycomb. Pop that on there. And just so you know, magnets are polar, folks. So opposites attract, similar poles repel. You have to put this on there the right way. You'll know as soon as you do it. If it's backwards, it will push back. If it's the right way, it'll just suck right on there, like so. So yeah, there you go. Let me go ahead and throw the frosted diffuser back on there. That really takes that intensity down. Right now we're about 52.1% brightness. I'm going to go up to around 75. We're at 76.5. Crank it all the way to 100. Yeah, there you go. You can see that really takes a lot of the luminosity off of there. That's why I hardly ever use both of these diffusers. It's always either the honeycomb or the frosted plastic. Generally for me, personally, I like the honeycomb. That's all I ever need. So let's fire up this light behind us to get some ambiance going in here. Take this back down so we don't burn out our retinas. There we go. And all I'm going to do in the app, hit the little back button. This is my group. I'm going to select this light back here. And if all goes well, that should fire right up. How cool is that? So that is just the bare light. I think I have that a little warmer than I do. So let's cool that down just a hair. I want to crank it to 100. And when you do that, guys, these things are completely silent unless they start getting a little warm. They have a built-in fan. Think of like a computer fan, an old desktop tower or something like that. It's in there. That kind of gets a little loud if you're using an on-camera microphone. If you're using like a lavalier or a boom or something like that, it's really a non-issue. But just know, as quiet as that is, it does get slightly loud. I'm talking like laptop fan loud, nothing crazy, but just know that is there. So if you're into these, mainstream YouTube video type things, if you want to have a background light, throw in some color somewhere, you're going to absolutely love this. So bring that to 0, go to color. And most people use some type of cooling effect, something like that. There's a nice blue. If it wasn't so far away, I have it far away so you could just see actually how the barn doors look on there. But you can bring this in. You can already see a little bit of rim light going on there. Let's move them in just a tad more. Crank up our stand. Yeah. Here's our barn doors coming a little handy. There we go. Now, of course, if you had a tighter lens, you would have that off camera. That's blue. We're going to switch back to our main on camera light here. This has battery levels on there too, by the way, just so you know. So let's take this one that's on camera, go to a little, you hear them downstairs, a little contrasting color. Yeah, pretty nice. I mean, these things, literally, they're so easy to maneuver. Like I said, they literally fit in the palm, I would say, almost anybody's hand. Doesn't matter how big your hands are. You can stick them in your pocket. It's kind of crazy to me. And they're, of course, magnetic. We saw that. I think you saw that anyway. But anyway, the ability to adjust the brightness, adjust the chroma, to adjust anything else. These things actually have some different modes, like party modes on there. I don't think I can go into them here. Anyway, well, they will like flash with music. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Essentially is what they would do. It's very, very cool. Yeah, that may be something we have to do on the lights themselves, but there's a lot of different modes, folks. If you go to the website, you can read all about these. I suggest that you do. And just wrapping it up, what else is there to say other than I'm extremely sorry again. It's took me so long to get this out there, guys. There's so much more that's still backlogged that I'm trying to get through. But it is coming. Like I said, it's been quite the whirlwind of the last few months, but when is it not? The ZHIYUN M20Cs, little colors, they make some that are just the M20s that you don't adjust the color on. Those are very basic. They're also pretty good bit cheaper, these things. They're not going to break the bank, but they're actually very affordable, at least in my opinion. If you do videography or even photography as a hobby, maybe an advanced hobbyist, or if you try to make a little money on the side, these are going to be well worth the investment just for the portability, the versatility, and honestly, the power of them, of course, in my opinion. They're not going to replace your big soft boxes, your actual big studio lighting or your strobes. But the work that they do, especially with the accessories that come with the combo, they're more than capable. If you're using smaller cameras, like these would be great with GoPro if you have the Pro rig on there. Smaller cameras, vlog cameras, it's great to have on there, either on your camera or, again, they're so small. You can just hold them out in your hand like this. They weigh next to nothing relatively. And if you're out and about, street lamps, street signs, any kind of metal building, as long as it's your car, any kind of car with a metallic body, you can just use the magnets on the back and just stick them up there. You don't even need an extra stand or tripod, anything to actually hold the light. So if you're a solo person out there in the world doing what you do, these lights, they're really going to work with you. Thank you so much for your patience, ZHIYUN. Thank you so much for your patience, all my good folks out there, especially my channel members. I cannot stress this enough, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me during this long hiatus. You're on the screen right now. I wish I could do more for you there. We'll probably get ready for a blanket live stream, even for the Continental members who get that with their tier. I think it's time and well deserved for everybody just to have another very chill live stream here in the new digs, which again, that's a whole other episode, and that is coming very soon, I promise. Look forward to, speaking of things coming soon, we have this review. We have the Go film processor. That thing is amazing, from Vintage Visuals over in Estonia. I'm behind on that as well, not as delinquent as I am on this, but they know the situation. That will be coming to the YouTube channel, and as well a written portion over on F-Stoppers. I write for the folks at F-Stoppers, and they've been good enough to be very patient with me during this time of transition as well. Thanks for being here, folks. Till next time.